Hello everyone. In this particular lecture, we are going to discuss about recombinant DNA technology. In this particular video, you will get the information about introduction, principles and different enzymes with their functions involved in recombinant DNA technology. Myself, Dr. Sujit Zadav from Department of Botany, SBR College, Maswad. Recombinant DNA technology, it is, as the name itself suggests, that it is nothing but it is a recombination of two different DNA molecules. That is, joining of two or more different DNA molecules with a series of procedure. Recombinant DNA can be produced from different DNA molecules because all the genetic material possesses similar chemical structure and material. A recombinant DNA molecule is constructed from segments of two or more different DNA molecules. Under certain specific conditions, the DNA molecule can be sent into chromosome or enter itself and replicate there to produce multiple copies. These newly formed copies are called as recombinant DNA. This recombinant DNA can be produced deliberately in the laboratory. Before the production of such new combination of DNA, the specific sequences are chosen as per requirement of the experiment and then the procedure has been followed. In laboratory, with the help of molecular cloning, genetic material from multiple sources has been brought together for creating the sequence which is not found in the genome either naturally. This particular technology can be produced from different DNA molecules because all the genetic material possesses similar chemical structure and material. Here, this particular technology can be denoted as rDNA and sometimes it is also called as chimeric DNA. The DNA sequences used in this technology may be used from any species and can be joined together. For example, a human genome sequence can be joined to fungal genome sequence or a plant DNA piece can be joined to bacterial DNA. Here, the palindromic sequences are used which leads to sticky and blunt ends. These sticky or blunt ends after introducing in new genome forms combination with host DNA and produce new combination. Thus, DNA sequences that do not found in nature can be created chemically or artificially and then incorporated into new combinant molecules. Then we will discuss first of all the history of this particular technology. The idea of this technology was first time put forth by Peter Lobben from Stanford University in 1972-73. Later, Arber, Smith and Nathans, they have shared Nobel Prize in 1978 in medicine for the discovery of restriction endonuclease enzyme which enhances the recombinant DNA technology. Later, Professor Paul Birch in 1980 got the Nobel Prize in chemistry for his work on nucleic acids, especially for the recombinant DNA. But Boyer and Cohen are said to be the inventors of recombinant DNA technology. It is because Stanley Cohen of Stanford University and Herbert Boyer, both they have applied for patent on recombinant DNA technology in 1974. It was granted in 1980. Stanley Cohen is a co-founder of Genentech Incorporations, which is an American company who have first time discovered or developed the drug by using this particular recombinant DNA technology in human insulin and which is licensed by Eli Lilly and Company of America. As far as applications of this particular technology they have been concerned, with the help of this particular technology we can produce golden rice, which is a recombinant variety of rice that has been engineered to express the enzymes responsible for beta-carotene biosynthesis. This variety of rice holds substantial promise for reducing the incidence of vitamin A deficiency in the world's population. The another application we have in front of us, that is herbicide resistant crops. Commercial varieties of important agricultural crops including soybean, maize, corn, sorghum canola, alfalfa, and cotton have been developed that incorporate a recombinant gene that results in resistance to the herbicide glyphosate, which is trade name is Roundup, and simplifies weed control by glyphosate application. Third application we have in front of us regarding the crops, that is insect resistant crops can be produced using this particular technology. Bacillus thuringiensis is a bacterium that naturally produces a protein Bt toxin which is having insecticidal properties. The bacterium has been applied to crops as an insect control strategy for many years. Then in humans, this technology gives a remarkable help, that is human insulin can be produced with the help of this particular technology, which can be useful for insulin dependent diabetic patients. Then recombinant chymosin, which is found in rennet. Chymosin is an enzyme required to manufacture cheese that has been produced using this particular technology. Then recombinant human growth hormone, that is HGH, somatotropin, has been produced, which is given to patients whose pituitary glands generate insufficient quantities to support normal growth and development. So these are different applications of this particular technology. So this is in this figure you can found empty plasmid has been there, where this empty plasmid has been cutted at a specific sequence, and this particular specific sequence that has been incorporated into the plasmid and DNA fragment with sticky ends, and this particular new plasmid has been producing a recombinant plasmid, a new plasmid with the new sequence that have been produced. As far as principles of this particular technology is concerned, this particular technology has 4 to 5 different principles or steps, we can say. The first step or principle, that is generation of DNA fragments and selection of the desired piece of DNA. The DNA fragment is selected and the characters which are required, they have been selected from that particular DNA. These characters or the sequence of these desired characters can be separated from the selected DNA piece. In second step, insertion of selected DNA into a cloning vector to create rDNA or chimeric DNA. Here, the selected sequences of the characters are attached to the mediator called as vectors. There are different types of vectors like cosmids, plasmids, etc. We are going to discuss about these different vectors in details in our other videos. This mediator, that is vectors, is useful for inserting the sequence of selector characters which will create rDNA or chimeric DNA. Then the third principle, that is introduction of recombinant vectors into the host cell. The rDNA is then introduced on the host cell, which will further attach to the host DNA, and the selected characters are transformed into the host cell. Then the next principle, that is multiplication and selection of clones containing the recombinant molecules. The selected genome with chimeric DNA can be further multiplied various times with different technologies using like PCR technology, polymerase chain reaction technology. The multiplication of such a type of recombinant characters has been done as per the requirement of the experiment. And the last principle, that is expression of the gene to produce the desired products. Expression of the gene to produce the desired products after insertion and introduction on vectors, the desired gene has been successfully expressed in the host body. Such genes are then can be stored in the gene banks for further implementations. So this is about the principles, and now we are going to discuss about different enzymes which are involved in recombinant DNA technology with their functions, the different functions they are following, different duties they are following in this particular technology. The first enzyme, that is DNA ligase, which is isolated from Escherichia coli and bacteriophages commercially and is used in this particular technology. This enzyme DNA ligase joins the DNA fragments with cloning vector. Another enzyme that is reverse transcriptase, that is this enzyme is used to synthesize complementary strand, that is cDNA in short, what we call it as, from mRNA template. It is also known as RNA dependent DNA polymerase. It is isolated from retroviruses. The third enzyme, that is restriction endonuclease. Restriction endonuclease enzyme recognize and cut DNA strand at specific sequence called as restriction site. This enzyme is isolated from wide variety of microorganisms. Endonuclease enzyme degrades foreign genome when enter inside a microbial cell, but the host cell own DNA is protected from its endonuclease by methylation of bases at restriction site. There are three different types of restriction endonuclease enzymes. The type 1 restriction endonuclease, which has both methylation and endonuclease activity. It requires ATP to cut the DNA, that is, it requires the energy. It cuts DNA about 1000 base pair away from its restriction site. For example, ECO-K1. The another type of restriction endonuclease, that is type 2, it does not require energy, that is ATP, to cut DNA. It cuts DNA at restriction site itself. As in type 1, 1000 base pairs required for cutting the DNA after restriction site, but type 2 restriction endonuclease cuts itself at the restriction site. For example, ECO-R1. This is the example of type 2 restriction endonuclease. Then type 3 restriction endonuclease, which requires the energy, that is ATP, to cut DNA. It cuts DNA about 25 base pairs away from restriction site. For example, ECO-P1. So this is about restriction endonuclease enzyme. The next one, that is terminal transcriptase. This enzyme that converts blunt end of DNA fragments into sticky end. If the restriction enzyme cuts DNA forming blunt ends, then efficiency of ligation is very low. So the enzyme terminal transferase converts blunt end into sticky end. The terminal transferase enzyme synthesizes short sequence of complementary nucleotide at free ends of DNA so that blunt end is converted into sticky end. The next enzyme, that is nuclease. This enzyme nuclease hydrolyzes the phosphodiester bond on DNA strand, creating 3-OH group and 5-phosphate group, that is P group. It usually cut DNA on either side of distortion caused by thymine dimers or intercalating agents. The gap is filled by DNA polymerase and strand is joined by DNA ligase. Nuclease enzymes are of two types again, that is endonuclease and exonuclease. The another enzyme, that is DNA polymerase, which is a complex enzyme which synthesizes nucleotide complementary to template strand. It adds nucleotide to free 3-OH end and help in elongation of strand. It also helps to fill gap in double-stranded DNA. DNA polymerase 1 isolated from Escherichia coli is commonly used in gene cloning. The next enzyme, that is ribonuclease H, that is RNase H. It removes mRNA from DNA RNA heteroduplex, and that mRNA is used to synthesize cDNA, that is complementary DNA strand. It is isolated from retrovirus. Next enzyme, that is alkaline phosphatase. The enzyme alkaline phosphatase helps in removal of terminal phosphate group from 5' end. It prevents itself annealing of vector DNA soon after cut open by restriction endonuclease. And the last enzyme, that is polynucleotide kinase. It adds phosphate group from ATP molecule to terminal 5' end after dephosphorylation by alkaline phosphatases. So this is all about the introduction, principles and enzymes involved in recombinant DNA technology. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching and listening to this particular video. Please subscribe the channel Let's Know the Botany, where everything you will get information about everything about plant sciences. Please subscribe, like the video and share it. Your comments are most welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much.